Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and this is part of my Poinsettia Place suite of projects. I'm showing you how to get the most out of this lovely suite. And today I'm actually comparing it not with the paper that comes with it, but with some paper that's also in our autumn and winter catalogue, which is this lovely Feels Like Frost. Now this is beautiful paper because on the one side we've got lovely photographic images of wintry themes rather than just Christmas, and on the reverse we've got lovely silver foiling and white. So a real sort of glimmer there, and as I say, the colours in here actually are sort of quite cool, so they're sort of balmy blue and Highland Heather, a bit of Blushing Bride, a bit of Night of Navy that you'd pick out, some pretty Peacock, which you can see sort of in this one here as well, Purple Posy, Rococo Rose, which I think is the dominant colour in this one, a bit of Seaside Spray, so some lovely cool blues, some Smoky Slate, and I think that's probably about it. But as you can see, a little bokeh effect, some lovely scenes, wintry scenes, just beautiful frosted foliage. I love this one. Actually, I think that one is almost kind of coming up to spring with those lovely Highland Heather colours. A bit of Queen Anne's lace there and some lovely stripes. So you've got a real choice of papers in there, and something that you could really match with anything that's sort of winter themed, birthdays as well. You know, if you didn't want to use it for Christmas. Poinsettia petals, I'm just using the Merry Christmas stamp out of this one, which is actually much bigger than it looks there. That's the size of it, a really big one. And you've got these beautiful images, so lovely flowers that stamp, super accent images and sentiments. And of course, because it's a suite, we've got the dies that coordinate. And you'll see here, the dies work in two ways. You can either cut out the images that you've stamped, or you can die cut and emboss, which is what I'm going to do today. So here's the project we're going to be making, and I'm using two colours, so some Blushing Bride and some Rich Raspberry, and I'm using our lovely ruched ribbon in Rococo Rose as well. So just have taken those pinks and purples together to create this pretty card here. So I say I've made this Christmas card. I've also used one of the lovely beaded pearl centres, which is part of the suite. You see those three sort of pearls with little beads in them as well. Absolutely beautiful. Just a little bit of ribbon, and then I've just stamped the images on the back there as well. And then obviously decorated inside, and I decorate the envelope in the same way as well. So to create this card and to get this lovely three-dimensional flower that you can see here, first thing you're going to do is actually do a bit of die cutting. So a couple of tips here. First of all, you can put these through at the same time. So I'm just going to do one. I've already prepared them, so I'm not going to sort of put you through. In fact, I'll just take the medium one. A couple of hints and tips. So, first hint and tip I have for you is when you take these out, you will find that they only nest in a certain way, and you want to make sure that that happens, because otherwise you're going to damage your dies. So on the back, I take a Sharpie and I just put a dot and a line on the back of my dies to show where they are. So that's my first tip to you. The next one is to use a bit of low tack tape or washi tape, depending on what you've got to hand. And you're just going to pop a little bit on. I do this because my plates aren't as flat as they might be, but also just because I don't want these to move. I want to keep those nice images. So just take a little bit of tape, and you're going to glue it to the outside. You can see there, and you're just going to do it in a couple of places, just to keep those from shifting and moving. Once you've done that, and you can do all three at the same time, I would recommend you pop a shim in with this. And the reason for that is because you're embossing as well, depending on your machine, you might want to just add a bit of extra pressure to get a really good emboss. The other thing you can do, which I should have done actually, is to just lightly sponge that die, or pop it onto your ink pad, because what you want to do is just highlight, and I'm literally just touching the edge, just highlight some of those there, some of the veins that we want. Okay, that's the other thing I forgot to say. I've done it on one of my other projects, so I think it was the lidded box I was doing. So I'm popping my shim on the top there. I'm going to run that through my machine. And once that is through, you'll see that pops out fantastically well, and you just get, you see the veins just highlighted a little bit more by adding that little bit of ink. I would use a, usually I use a sponge dauber. I put my sponge daubers away because I've got lots of projects to prep. Okay, so cut out one of each of those in each of the sizes that you want, and then let's start with our card. So what I'm going to use here is just the, I'm actually going to use this floral image here, which is the detailed one, but you could use any of the Stampin' Up any of the Poinsettia images that you fancy. And I'm just using some Blushing Bride, so it's a nice pale tone, and I'm going to pop that image on my Stampin' Pierce mat first, because we're dealing with photopolymer. And I'm going to pop that up in the top corner, like so, and then down here. In fact, I've actually used Rococo Rose, not Blushing Bride. Never mind. Okay, well, it will work just as well. So I'm just popping a couple of images on there, and I'm going to pop another one on the inside, and I'm going to stamp off here. So I'm just going to put a bit of scrap paper under the corner, because you don't want to stamp all over your Stampin' Pierce mat, and stamp off first, and then have my pretty image on the inside there. Oh no, it was Blushing Bride. I'm okay. For a moment there I thought I'd use my Rococo Rose. It'll dry a little bit lighter once that's come off, because I've recently re-inked it. Okay, so it doesn't look very inspiring at the moment, so let's add some other elements. So first of all, I've cut a piece of Blushing Bride cardstock, 10 by 6 centimetres, and a piece of my lovely DSP, just half a centimetre smaller, so that's just 9.5 by 5.5, she says optimistically. Yes, by 5.5. And then with my rich raspberry, I'm going to come in and stamp my sentiment across the bottom. So just hover over the top till you're happy with that. And there we go. You can see that really pulls out those beautiful plum tones in there. Now let's get on with our layering. So just take some adhesive tape and being foil, you might find you want something. I'm actually going to use my Stampin' Seal. Now we've got this. That will adhere. When you're adding glue to foil card, it doesn't stick as well, so you do want to make sure you've got a nice strong bond. So create my Merry Christmas layer, and then let's come in and do our flowers. So to shape these flowers, what I'm actually going to do is two things. I'm going to actually shape each petal, pulling out using my bone folder, and then I'm going to take each petal and just crease down the middle, and that way you get a lovely kind of shape on those petals, that it actually is not just flat. And again, I'm going to do that. So this is my one where I'd added the ink. You can see that creates a little bit more interest to that petal. And it's just by adding ink to those embossed lines, you get a little bit more detail. That's going to go in the middle. And then finally, my centre one. So as I say, with one pass of the die machine, you're going to be able to create these flowers beautifully. So if you're making lots for for Christmas, then this is perfect for that. Now these adhesive pearls don't come with anything on the back, so they don't come with any adhesive on the back. So all I'm going to do is use some of my Seal Plus if I could find it, or if not, one of my glue dots, which also seem to have disappeared. Okay, multi-purpose glue it is then. Ah, there we go, Seal Plus. So Seal Plus has got lots of little strips in it, so you can literally just put it on, there we go, like so, and that will fit in the middle of our centre one. You can either use your Seal Plus to do the same for the centre of these, and I put it on the bottom one first, and then I add it to the back of my top one, like so. And then I can find, stuck to my hand, those lovely, and you'll see that just brings that beautifully to life. Grab your dimensionals, absolutely essential at this time of year, makes it so much quicker and easier to create lovely cards. And I'm going to add a dimensional onto the back of my panel first of all, and I'm going to pop that in place. With your panel, it's quite a big flower, so I'm just going to make sure I've got plenty of dimensionals on the back. My usual this size panel, one in each corner, one in the middle. If you've got some little bits, great, those can go either side. Decide where you're going to place that onto your card. And I'm going to pop that just there, so I've got still plenty of flower, because my flower's going to come on the top here. And then I'm going to add my piece of ribbon to the back here. So all I'm taking is, oh gosh, I don't know, probably sort of 3 or 4 inches at best, yeah, like that, yeah. Just a little V. Now you might want to, when you're adding this, just to stop it springing open, just take a stapler and just pop that across. That just means it makes it easier for you to add onto the back of a project. I'm adding some Stampin' Seal Plus. And then I can add my dimensional onto the back there. That gives enough space to lift up and for that ribbon not to stop it adhering. And then just pop that in a spot like so. And you'll find by having this, we've got a 10.5cm card, that will still fit into the C6 envelope, even with that little bit of overlap. And there we have, in next to no time, a really pretty card using the Poinsettia place in some non-traditional colours. You know, we do get pink poinsettias, and I think that personally looks absolutely beautiful. So there we go. Merry Christmas. I hope you enjoy making this project, and if you'd like to purchase the items you need to make it, pop along to my blog at flutterbyheidi.co.uk or straight to my Stampin' Up shop at heidismith.stampinup.net. Thanks then, come back soon, bye.